Well, it's been a month about that I've been here at the Oxford Autism Centre. Kimberly went through that whole ADHD assessment with me. Today, I'm going to find out if I've got ADHD. I'm pretty confident I have. And unlike going for an autism diagnosis, this doesn't feel stressful to me. I'm pretty certain I've got it. So, yeah, just depends how bad. Let's go and find Kimberly.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Kimberly. All right, so in front of you there.
We've finished your assessment. So we've been obviously assessing for ADHD. We already know you're beautifully autistic.
Thank you.
And we already know that autistic people are more likely to also be ADHD as well. We know they often co-occur.
But you can have ADHD without autism.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can be one or the other.
Or both.
Now,
Yeah.
the difference between autism and ADHD and how we approach an assessment, an ADHD assessment, we're looking to exclude other reasons for those symptoms or characteristics. Whereas in autism, we go looking. So it's a very different type of approach that we're doing.
Right.
There's lots of things that can cause inattention. There's lots of things that can cause hyperactivity and impulsivity that aren't ADHD. So we have to make sure we go through and scan and screen and think about those other things. So when we met, we did your development history.
Yeah.
I'm looking for any other telltale signs for kind of any genetic reasons. I'm having inattention or hyperactivity and impulsivity. I'm looking at other medical conditions you might have, going through that. So things like dyspraxia, for example.
I think I got that.
Which you can do. And then we have to really think then, actually, are they, is the hyperactivity or the inattention related to some developmental coordination needs, which can occur in dyspraxia?
As you're growing up, you mean?
Yeah, growing up.
But also cause ADHD.
So it can cause inattention. It's not ADHD, but inattention characteristics.
Huh.
So we have to be really careful. The same as dyslexia. That can also cause inattention.
Because they're not ADHD, they're a different thing.
Dyslexic. Or you can be...
Oh,
so we have...
do you think I've got dyslexia?
I don't know, but it's just we're going through and just checking. So I have to screen for that as we go through. So all these other things as we go through the assessment journey, these are the things that we've had to rule out
There's a lot.
for you as we go through.
It's insanely complicated, but of course it's a human's brain, so there's nothing more complex to wade through, really, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a nurse, I'm trained lots of years of experience to kind of think about cross-diagnosis and formulation.
Yeah.
So if it's
You're well clever, I know that. Well, I know that from the autism assessment I had. You're looking, you're monitoring. It's definitely not just about the test.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sneaky.
It is very sneaky, very sneaky in some ways. So we've come together as what's called an MDT, so multidisciplinary team. So while it's me that's done your assessment, we meet as a wider team to formulate an outcome. So it's not just Kim's brain.
Yeah.
I present the information, we look at that against the ADHD criteria, and we think whether those characteristics is best explained by ADHD. And it can't be explained by all those other things that we've just talked about.
Yeah.
And we have concluded that we think you are ADHD, and we think that you have combined type ADHD.
Which is attention deficit and hyperactivity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if we were doing this assessment 5-10 years ago, you'd have had inattentive ADHD, so ADD is what it was known, and then you'd have had ADHD as two separate diagnoses.
Oh, doubled up on the numbers.
But now
on the
we don't.
letters.
Well, we don't know. We just call it ADHD now. And we have
yeah.
the three different options. So we have ADHD, predominantly inattentive type. And the predominantly is important because that means that we're saying there isn't not necessarily hyperactivity or impulsivity, but it's not meeting the threshold to consider for a combined type. Then we have the next one, which is predominantly hyperactivity and impulsivity. And again, predominantly is important because it means that we're not saying there isn't any inattention. It's just, again, not meeting that diagnostic.
Well, you can have hyperactivity but be attentive. You not have the attention to... That would be the way it'd be. Can you imagine how much you'd get done?
Well, exactly, precisely. So.
Maybe I've got that one, but I don't think so. I think I got a lot. But
And then we have lastly is the ADHD combined type. Where it met the diagnostic criteria for both of those areas.
because the hyperactive bit's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, you can get... Like, I don't really stop. But then in the attention deficit, I feel that you haven't told me I've got yet makes it impossible to get anything done.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Go on.
And that then comes together. So that's the combined type. So both, absolutely. So we see that. So
And I've got both.
you've got both. So combined type is what we refer to that now in the diagnostic manual. Now, characteristics is one part that we look at for ADHD. As you know, we talked about this last time. So we need to look at evidence that those needs were there before the age of 12. We felt that we had enough evidence to suggest that they were there before the age of 12.
Definitely. Yeah.
We also need to have evidence that these are impacting across multiple areas of your life, across different settings or in different dynamics. So your lovely wife gave us lots of lovely information. So we know it's impacting your relationship. We know it's impacting work and school. As you've grown up, you've got lots of lovely strategies in place now to help manage that. But without those strategies, actually those things would be near on impossible for you, I think.
Is that right? So strategies that I don't know about them.
Well, you're methodical, you know, and I think this is where the crossover with autism and ADHD is really important. So you described to me about your checking and thorough working out before you go travelling. So it takes you about a week to pack because I'm checking and going back and checking and going back.
I don't see that as a good thing, but that's...
I would say it's a good thing. You're doing it to help with the forgetfulness of your ADHD, which is part of the inattention.
I haven't got
approach,
forget on it with ADHD.
And
Right?
you're not...
That's a relief.
You're
I
not
forget
trusting
so
your
much
brain.
stuff.
Yeah, you're not trusting because you know I forget things. So I'm not trusting it. So I'm going back and checking.
Yeah,
that's right.
And checking again.
Yeah.
So you developed strategies into adulthood to try and help with some of these things. So we can see that. So that's given us that we think it's having an impact across work and school when you're at school. We think it's impacting your relationship, albeit you've got a very lovely understanding why. If she wasn't so understanding, actually that would be really hard for it to manage and navigate.
Yeah.
And socially, we think it's impacting for you too. So,
definitely.
like while you're very sociable, you're very person centric, that's exhausting. And that's probably part of the autism as well as the ADHD and how, so that's amplified for you compared to other people.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
And then the last bit of the criteria, as I've already talked about, is we need to be confident it's not better explained by other things like autism, dyslexia, or other mental health conditions like anxiety or depression, which can cause inattention or
Yeah,
or
for sure.
bipolar for the hyperactivity.
Yeah.
So, and we don't think it's better explained by those things.
Bingo, bongo.
So we think you are beautifully autistic ADHD.
That's basically where I thought I was too.
Absolutely. So we're all on the same page.
and-
That's good.
The ADHD does it have different levels? Like, have I got it like to a high level, or am I just chilling?
There's no levels.
There's not.
No, like in the diagnostic manual for autism, there's levels, which is really unhelpful, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, they are unhelpful because they're misleading.
Well, I feel like I was pretty high level at that.
Yeah, so people, but on level 1 don't have much support, or level 3 is like you need lots of significant support. But actually, in different parts of your life, you might need a lot of significant support, but other parts, I'm bossing it and I don't need no support
Well, that's
at all.
how it is, isn't it?
So it's really
Yeah.
For ADHD, it's very similar, but what we do know, often if ADHD is co-occurring with other neurodivergence such as autism, actually the impact is often much more significant. So in terms of scale, in terms of that, we know that that's likely to be a bit more of an impact.
Yeah. So can I ask you about it now?
So I'm going to show you
You're
your
up.
report. So you've got a lovely report, and then we'll go through and you can ask me questions as we go.
Raising.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Here's your
definitely.
Copy of your report.
Thank
I'll send
you.
it electronically for you as well, so you've got it as we go. There is a lot of information in a report, and you'll find with any medical report, there's lots of jargon.
Yeah.
Now,
But it's interesting stuff.
Yeah, we try and take out as much of the jargon as we can, or we'll explain the jargon in it. So if I'm referring to something, we'll explain what it is. So you'll see under assessment tools, for example, it mentions a diva. So I've explained that that's a diagnostic interview tool. I wouldn't expect anyone to know what.
No, I got you. Yeah.
So that sort of thing. But we need to put it there because that tells the other professionals that we've done a nice compliant assessment for you, and we've used nice compliant tool.
Oh, yeah. It's professional.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, let's go.
Fine. So the first part just tells us who you are, where you come from, date of birth, all those sort of things.
Yeah.
And then gives us a summary of the outcome because we put that there because GPs like that. It's
Yeah.
some man to read all the report. They can just see what was the outcome,
Yeah.
pop it on the
Oh,
light.
good. Yeah.
And it gives us the reason to why you're here. So thinking about autism, and then you're like, well, explains a lot, but it doesn't explain everything. So we're here because actually we think ADHD and autism probably best explains your experiences.
It's different, isn't there, between the two things, really?
Yeah.
But I feel like the hyperactivity lifts me out of the autism a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I might not want to go somewhere, but I'm so hyperactive, I'm going anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Powers me a bit.
Yeah, the impulsivity will be setting in, like, I'm just going to do it anyway. Even though you're auto-just catching and go, oh no, this is scary.
Yeah, that's right.
It's different and I don't know what to expect.
No, I feel it. So for me, it's a good thing to have the ADHD, otherwise I might have been a much more suppressed kind of person.
That's a lovely strength of them co-occurring. For some people, it helps to push through.
And yeah, that's it. Yeah. I wouldn't be without the AD. I wouldn't want to be without the maybe the attention bits of pain. But anyway, let's talk about that in a bit. Yeah.
So then we go into all the assessment tools that we'd use through the report. So you'll see there's a wealth of different ones. So NICE tells us, which is what I have to follow as a professional, that we get information from a range of sources and in a way, lots of different ways. So we've done a development history. We did a DIVA interview, which is an ADHD specific interview. We did a QB test, which was the ball on the head and the clicking.
Yeah.
And then we did lots of screening questionnaires. So we had the Wonder Utah completed. We had the ASRS completed. And we also had mental health screening because it's important we rule those out.
Yeah.
So we did the PHQ-9.
Yeah.
And we did the GAD-7 as well. So that's the...
And I was all right on those.
They were okay. They showed some bits which we'll go through.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't think that best explains.
No, I got you. But there's little things flag up.
You know what? Being neurodivergent, it's not a surprise.
No, it's right.
Out, like you're in a neurotypical world, so they're not of a level of concern for me or things I have to think about. So
sick.
That they're there so we can look at those.
Good, yeah. And you tell me about them in a minute.
We will. We'll go through.
Cool.
We also did the SDQ, so Strength and Difficulties questionnaire, and we also got some information from your lovely wife as well, which helped inform the assessment.
Cool.
So that's what we use. So that's a lovely, rich source of lots of information from lots of different places. Lots of different people's opinions and views, not just Kim's.
Gotcha. Yeah. It broadens it out, makes it more accurate. Yeah.
Then we move to the risk section. That's really important, but this can be hard for sometimes for people to read and to see because you're like, oh, she's saying I'm a risk. What we're doing is identifying that we know there's a risk for your impulsivity. You told me lots about your impulsive, oh, I'm going to do that, and your risk taking, you're a real positive risk taker. As a result, you've had lots of fractures, and I can't not acknowledge that as a clinician. I haven't.
Was that wise? I thought I broke bones because of maybe the dyspraxia, but it's also basically I should not have tried to be even mountain biking, like with attention deficit.
Yeah, you made a great career out of it, didn't you?
But that's probably why I broke so many bones, perhaps.
Probably because you like to take a risk.
Yeah, of riding above my head. Yeah, I do like to take a risk. Huh.
I'm like, oh, let's go do that.
Is that something to do with ADHD?
Impulsivity. So we see real risk takers here, and usually the impulsivity is quite large and quite apparent on the thing. So
no way.
We can see that. So, we are aware that you might need some people around you just go, oh, can we just measure that?
I like
That's okay. You can still take risk. You still take positive risk, but we just acknowledging that is a risk there, and that's okay.
That's
not
mad.
looking to stop it, but I think it's important we acknowledge.
You couldn't stop it, right? It's part of me. I like it.
Medication can help sometimes if it's causing such a significant concern or problems. But if you like it and it's making you good at your job, then why would...
Oh, no, that's wrong. Yeah, good. Thank you.
So that's that there. Then we go into the detail of your assessment. So you've got the background information, which is all the development history that we gathered for you. So have a read when you go home and get your wife to read it as well. And if there's any changes or anything that's not quite right, do let us know. And we can just make any tweets. But hopefully we captured everything through.
No, brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, can I talk about this now? Is this a pain? Do I want to leave it till the end?
I think about now.
So I could now, with this diagnosis, I could go to a doctor and probably get a prescription for Ritalin.
So you need to go to an ADHD psychiatrist or an ADHD specialist, so what was called a non-medical prescriber. So a nurse who's done a non-medical prescribing course and has got expertise and experience in ADHD. The same as pharmacists may well do the same, that they've gone and done extra training around assessing and identifying ADHD and have also done their non-prescribing, or a psychiatrist. So if that is something you're wanting to look at, I would be strongly advising it needs to be a psychiatrist that needs to do that review.
Yeah.
Because they need a higher level of in-depth knowledge in how all these things will interact and contradict with one another. So we get the right medication if that was what you wanted.
No, I don't. No. So just for the record, I definitely won't. I won't take any medication.
And that won't change in the future. Like you might think in 10 years' time, actually, you know what, I need to take it now.
What would it do to me?
It depends what type. There's lots of different types. There's stimulant and non-stimulant. There's short-acting, long-acting. It would depend on what...
But would it calm the chatter down in my head?
It can do.
But that, to me, is changing my personality. So I absolutely would not...
It's a real fear for people.
I wouldn't do it.
I don't want to be me. I don't want to be who I am. We don't. It's very rare that we see a change in personality and character.
But when you take it though, say I've took one and I don't know how long it kicks to kin, but when it's working, surely I would appear different to you, and I wouldn't be quite the same.
Might be calmer. Just takes the edge off. It doesn't change you fully. So if you think about it like a mountain with a really strong spike, medication just chops the top off.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it doesn't take away the mountain.
Honestly, I don't know if this is the right thing to say or not, but I absolutely would not touch
Everyone is really
I'm very anti.
ADHD meds.
Well, this is me. I feel like I want to be me.
Absolutely, and I love that. And for us as an organisation, we are really neuroaffirming and we celebrate who people are.
Yeah, let's go.
That is really important. So,
to numb myself like that feels like I know that it would have absolutely. It would always be like having a good day when I can go out in the workshop and get a lot done in 2 hours. Like that does happen. Like sometimes I can be unbelievably productive, and I feel like that might cause that a lot more, but it wouldn't be real. No, I need to deal with myself.
And medication comes with the real pros and cons, both.
Yeah, and also it'll have side effects as well. They're going to be negative, right?
Absolutely. Some people report a real profound impact, like my brain feels clearer. It feels like someone's turned the light on in my brain.
I think that's how it would feel to me. I bet.
Some people, though, say they don't have that impact or influence, but just dampens everything down. And some people have no impact, so it's not really worthwhile for them to continue with medication. So it's a real personable experience. We're still learning lots about ADHD medications and the different types of ADHD, which medications may be best.
It's so complex, isn't it? It's not like you've got a headache, have a paracetamol.
No, and that's why it needs to be done with a specialist in the end.
Yeah, when you get into it.
GP
So it's not like you just whack out tab. I'm just interested because I don't like the idea of.
Absolutely. And medication won't be indicated for everyone because things like heart conditions. Because of some of the side effects with ADHD medication would be things that we don't think that was the right thing.
And can I ask you, just the thing that has blown my mind is because I was on this Gypsy Tales podcast and he said that, he tried to explain it to me because I couldn't understand the fact that my brain runs at 3,000 miles an hour, yet a stimulant would make me calmer. But it's something to do with the receptors. Can you explain it quick? He's not really.
Right, It's a really fascinating area of science, and it does change how the receptors receive information and pull
in your brain.
Into the brain.
At the moment, mine are looking for something that's not there, which is causing me.
Feeding it, and it pulls on different chemicals.
Which is causing me to have attention everywhere, because it's looking for something good. Is that sort of it?
The best way to describe it, I suppose, in the simplest term, that's very complicated, is that it puts it on a very straight train track, and then you've got your direct train. So your speed is still there, but actually it's more efficient. You're not stopping at every stop.
Got ya.
As you go through.
Oh yeah. Not every single thing distracts me.
Yeah. It's still on the fast train, but actually I'm not having to kind of then go here, there, and everywhere with it. Yeah. But it's really interesting. The science behind it is very deep.
I'd definitely be a more efficient person, but I'm also do all right as I am. So that's it. Yeah, good. No, thank you for explaining.
No, that's right.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from all that.
Great detail. I don't do it justice, but there's a lot around the kind of brain anatomy, the structures of the brain, how information receptors receive things. It's fascinating, but it's more than the time we've got today.
I think I can imagine. If you could just break down the functions of the brain in the next 15 minutes, we'll be there. Yeah. Cool. Oh no, amazing.
Then we capture your education and employment history. Again, that's really important.
That's fun, wasn't it?
It was.
The unemployable.
Yeah, but that helps me to understand the impact. So that tells me.
And school was a disaster. So I was born with it.
You know what? You had a really tough time at school.
I had a shit time at school, and I hate schools. And that would be the one thing that I hate about not knowing until later life is that I wasted my life.
Yeah.
And the school should have known, or it's just done it much better now. Yeah. But like that pisses me off.
Yeah. But actually,
I was treated like an idiot.
Yeah, and that's not.
And I wasn't one.
But one of the advantages of you having your assessments later on in life is back then you would not be able to be diagnosed with autism and ADHD. It'd be one or the other. So if you had a diagnosis and then you came for an ADHD, they would decide which one best fitted, and that would be the diagnosis that you.
So that was nonsense for a start.
Yeah, but our understanding the diagnostic manuals and the DSM has grown and evolved since, so that's no longer the case. So there's some advantages coming later on. While it means school was horrendous for you, actually, we'd probably miss some of your neurodivergence and your self-identity.
Yeah.
Because that would have been helped because it had been taken away. You probably wouldn't have thought about them re-exploring it later on in adulthood because of course already been done. because we don't explain the meaning, or you can't have both, and why that's the case. And we wouldn't go back and review all those people that had that kind of diagnostic formulation at the time, because that's all we do.
Yeah.
So, there's probably a lot of the community out there that are probably autistic ADHD, but are not aware because of that practice that was the right practice at the time.
Yeah, just how it is, but it's getting better. That's for sure. Yeah, no, interesting.
So there's a couple of pages on it.
It's going to be a bit big old read, this is.
It is. Then we need the assessment binders. So this is the Diva. So you'll see there's headings across here. So these are all the headings of the characteristics and symptoms that we have to think about.
Yeah.
So we start with the 9 for inattention as we go through. And underneath all of them, we've got the examples. So the examples that you gave me, the examples your wife had given me, for the information she's given, how you've hit that criteria as a way through. So if you skip over the content for now, and we can cover.
Yeah.
So you've got hyperactivity, and then if we go, and there is a lovely grid.
This one here.
That's the QB. So
Oh yeah, hyperactivity.
do you want to do the QB now, or do you want to do the symptom count?
Whatever you want to do.
We'll go to symptom count. So if you go over a couple more pages, and you'll see the symptom count.
Oh yeah.
There it is. So we have 9.
A lot of yeses.
There is a lot of yeses. You are absolutely right. So there's 9 symptoms for inattention that we explore and look at, and there's 9 for hyperactivity and impulsivity that we look at. Now you'll see there's a column for childhood and a column for adulthood, because we need to see that they're across both. And then if you see, I've added them up for you. So you
know
all the criteria, 9 out of 9 for inattention. And then for hyperactivity and impulsivity, we felt you met 8 out of the 9, both in childhood and in adulthood.
I'm peaking them.
So in adulthood, to receive a diagnosis or be considered for a diagnosis, you need to have 5 or more out of those 9 in each area.
Oh, well in, innit?
So you are well in. We have lots of evidence that supports the diagnosis, which is great, both across childhood and in adulthood. So that's
I'm well ADHD, ain't I?
yeah. So it's a very comfortable formulation. It wasn't one where we were going, we're not sure.
No, that's right. I am just all in on it, right? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I have got. Yeah, I'm only trying to make an excuse myself here, because I can't listen to basically a whole conversation. But like, I've got a high level of ADHD, even though you don't mark it as such.
Absolutely.
So I have got. So it is basically impossible for me to. I'm doing well today because this is so interesting, but like, my brain wandering in a conversation. There ain't nothing I can do about that.
Off some of the things like
You can't believe it.
off and then it comes back.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not my fault.
No,
That's how I'm wired.
That is your beautiful brain
Yeah, it's weird.
filtering out and helping you filter out all that information as best it can.
It's so rude though, isn't it? It's so rude.
up for debate.
If something's, yeah, all right, it's perceived to be so rude, because someone will finish a sentence and I'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
As you go. So if we just go back a couple of pages, so that's the symptom counter. If you come back a couple of pages on here, that's it, that one there. You see there it says qualitative observation.
Yeah.
So this is what's called a mental state examination.
I arrived on time.
You did arrive on time.
Miracle.
And so probably with help of other people, my guess is, rather than complete independence. That
I knew from coming over the time before that I needed to leave an hour because of the roadworks.
Yeah.
They weren't there. So if the roadworks has been there, I would have been late, but they're gone. So we're good.
Fine. So mental state examination is a tool that mental health professionals will use to screen for mental health needs and condition. And given ADHD is classed as a mental health condition still, it's still in the diagnostic manual as such.
That annoys
It's
me,
important that we have that.
because I don't see it as mental health. I see that being happy or unhappy. I see it as a ADHD. It's a divergence. Of course it is. It's a mental. It's a difference. So how is it?
Absolutely. The same is autism, though. Autism is still classed as a mental health condition. It's
I don't
in the
like.
diagnostic
People
manual.
say, "Oh, you've been on this mental health journey," and I'm like, "No, I've been on a neurodivergent journey. My mental health's pretty good."
Yeah, and we're not working in a a medical model. We're working in a social model with autism and ADHD. So what I mean by that, the depression or anxiety, we'd be looking to assess, treat, hopefully cure. That's the model that we'd be working in. I'm looking to assess autism or ADHD, but I'm not looking to treat it necessarily.
No, got you.
ADHD with meds if it's really problematic. I'm not certainly no way looking to cure it, and I wouldn't want to cure it because the world would be very, very boring if we did.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff comes with having ADHD, right? I would not be as good at commentary if I didn't have ADHD. Like, I need that quickness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we work in what's called a social model of disability rather than that medical model. And the social model means basically everyone else is the problem or everything else is the problem. So we need to make adjustments. So my daughter will often say, that's a you problem. Yeah, bad play. It is a me problem. So we just said about, well, that's really rude. Well, actually, is it? That's a me problem. That's a neurotypical problem over here. That isn't a you problem.
Yeah.
That's my expectations that I set as society and what I would consider rude or not rude.
That's right. To me, it's not rude. I had no idea.
It's not illegal. It's not against the law.
No.
It's, different cultures that might not be seen as rude. So it's just because of the culture that we live in, the gender, the race, all these other things interplaying with that intersectionality is what we call it. So it's interesting in terms of that. So we move to a social model rather than a medical model. However, because we are still assessing for a condition that is in that diagnostic manual and is still under the umbrella of a mental health condition at the moment, we have to do for ADHD a mental state examination. That's good practice. So while we were talking and we were doing things, I'm observing you at the same time. And this feels awful for people when they're like, oh, God.
No, I know it's in the autism one. So it's fine. But the first time it did knock me. I was like, it's a trick.
That's a bit rude.
We're
comment about that. Like, that's great. So there's comments in there. So I'm looking at things like, are you able to verbalise and express yourself? I'm looking, are you showing any delusional thought processes or patterns? No. Any hallucinations?
No.
Have you got good insight into your needs and strengths? I'd say you pretty much do.
Getting there. I've learned a lot in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
That's right.
Assessing your mood.
The annoying thing is you can't change it all. No. So it catches you out time and time again. Even though you know it, you still go down the same bloody path before you go,
hang on.
But I know that that's just the way I'm wired and I can't see it.
And that will come time.
Will it?
Yeah, it will. And you'll be
I'm
very conscious. It won't happen unconsciously for you. It'll always be a conscious state, but you'll master those skills. The more you practice them, the easier it will get. But it will always be a conscious state.
I've just been away for 3 weeks. I got home last night from the TT. I was so excited to get home. And when I got home, I just sat in a chair and pretty much fiddled on my phone for probably 4 hours, unable to go and do anything, even unload.
Like, just need to process that.
Is that what it is? Am I just getting used to being back in my own surroundings?
It's just the same as unpacking that suitcase, putting your stuff back in the drawers, doing the washing, just organising it back out. That's all you're doing. But for your brain, you just, I'm just decompressing.
Yeah, couldn't do anything. Couldn't even watch telly.
Yeah, because that's a lot.
But anyway, that was because I knew that was the overload of the day. And in the past, I wouldn't have done. I'd just sat there going, what's wrong with me? But it's still weird that I find that annoying. Like, I've come home, I want to be active. I've just been on travelling. I'd done nothing all day, but like, it's worse for me.
But if you plan that in and plan that as part of your travel, so you might be home, but as part of your travel arrangement, it gets a bit easier to accept it. It doesn't necessarily make it not less annoying, but acceptance will be easier. And hopefully that.
I lose time. I think that's what annoys me. I waste time. Yeah, I waste time. And I want to, because obviously I think about being hyperactive and whatever means I want to be efficient and get shitloads done. Yeah. And
actually that's part of it there. You've got to do the organising. Because you can't process any of that stuff that's happened if it's not organised in your brain.
Huh.
So that mindset change will help with that in terms of not feeling so frustrated that I'm wasting time. It's not a waste of time.
Yeah, and then it crushes me. I get I do think about what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It does. I'm really, what's the word? Like, I can't move. What's the word? Like, I don't know.
It's just the processing. Burning is just like, it's not burnout because you're not in burnout, but it's that, overload, I just need to shut down. I need to just process everything, organise. Like Tesco shut, don't they? Do a deep clean at night, reorganise.
That's almost that, right? I've had people all day, but on an aeroplane sat next to someone. No, it's just too much.
And if Tesco's didn't shut and clean and restock the shelves, they wouldn't have enough customers, wouldn't make enough sales the next day.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I'm restocking when I'm asleep at night.
Yeah. But you also might need to do that while you're awake too.
Yeah, very often.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it is. Interesting.
You've got a busier supermarket in your hand.
Yeah, 24/7. Hey, it's 7-Eleven or whatever. No, forget it. 24/7. Yeah.
So your mental state examination was absolutely fine from a mental health. I wasn't concerned of any other mental health conditions or anything like that.
That's good.
And
I like that.
Showed ADHD in its fullest. So you'll see I've commented about you needing regular movement breaks, about that you were seeking movement in your legs throughout, that you were fiddling with your beard. all those things.
Well, like
Neuro. Yeah, absolutely, because they're helping you concentrate. And I don't want you to ever stop doing it.
No, I won't. No, I do it when I'm interviewing people on telly. I feel like I can't.
Why do you need to stop it? Like, it's not.
I don't think it's too bad. Then look weird. No, it's all right, isn't it? Scratching my beard. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I need to do it. So that's that.
So those things, and then also it picked up for you that your brain is super busy because when I gave you multiple parts of the question, that become a lot harder, and you asked me to repeat information when there's more than one or two steps in place.
Yeah, I overloaded a bit.
Yeah, it was like, what did she say? I've got that first bit, or you might have got the first bit and the second bit, but you missed the bit.
I ask a lot of stupid questions at work, and that's why then, is it? I can't almost process.
Yeah.
No, and that's exactly. And one thing almost has to be, I have to get it in my head and understand it before I can move on to the next thing.
That's it.
Otherwise, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Can't
right.
do that.
And so I'm like, la, 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 and they go, yeah. And then I'm like, okay, right. And then they can carry on. But everyone else has kind of got it. And I feel a bit stupid.
Yeah.
But I'm not stupid because
Not at all.
I'm down on air and I just need to know that I want it exactly right.
Yes.
So I do get a few looks, though, from people like, is he for real?
Yeah.
But that's just how I operate then.
Absolutely fine. Yeah.
That's just how I operate.
It absolutely is how you.
Yeah.
And that is
It's not less intelligence.
No, nothing to you.
No, it's that.
Very clever person.
Oh, thanks.
So, and I've got no concerns about your intelligence, and that's one of the things we look out for. Is there any sign of what's called a learning disability?
Yeah.
You're nowhere near even remotely. You're not Mensa. I hate to break that to you. You're not Mensa intelligent, as far as I'm aware. Not that I've done your cognitive assessment, but there is no concern about your intelligence.
No, I'm clever enough.
Yeah.
I know I am from what I do for a living.
Bearing in mind, intelligence comes in multiple ways.
Yeah.
And I'm not just looking at academic intelligence. We have emotional intelligence. We have the artistic flair, creative flair. We have loads. There's multiple forms. So, we need to make sure we're always checking what we think and what we mean by intelligence.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not exams.
No.
It's not qualifications.
That's academic intelligence.
That's
that
right.
breaks sometimes.
I ain't really worried about that one.
No, absolutely. No. Okay. Then we move to the QB test. So that's the thing on the head.
You already did about 80 miles. I would move head move.
Doing a sterling lot of miles. So you'll see there your table in terms of on this page. Go back.
This one, innit? No.
Go back. That's it. Next one.
Ta-da.
There you go. So these are the measures that we're looking at in the QB test as we talked through a little bit. So for hyperactivity, your score is 3.4. So that comes in, it's a horrible word, that comes in the atypical range.
What's atypical mean? Normal?
No.
Oh.
It means the opposite. It means it's supporting a diagnosis around hyperactivity.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I expected.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
way up. So the higher level of...
What does atypical mean? What?
Atypical. So typical is normal and atypical is it's not normal. There's a horrible word
It's bizarre, isn't it?
the QB tests use. So that's whereas, I said at the beginning, there'll be some terminology or some words in here that are jargon based, but it's because it's what's the thresholds terminology they use.
Right on.
Then you'll see for inattention, you were a score of 1.7, which also places you in the atypical range. And then impulsivity, interestingly, you were only slightly, and that was 1.3.
That's good though, because that means I don't just blow money on cars all the time. Yeah, because there is, I can normally hold the back. But is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so these normatives, well, what we call normatives, they compare you against other people of the same age in the same gender.
So this might be wrong, and tell me, the Q score of 3.4 for hyperactivity is double inattention at 1.7. Does that correlate? Does that mean my inattention is half my hyperactivity? No, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. It just needs the variables or the scores that we use for that one. That's where that was. So it doesn't mean you're more so or less so.
No.
If you look in the narrative under hyperactivity, you'll see that 99% of people of the same age and gender were less active than you during their test.
99%.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're in the 1% of hyperactivity.
Oh my God. I am in the 1% of what on planet Earth?
1% of people who've done the QB test and in the trials and stuff they've done.
I'm in the very top. That is amazing.
Yeah. So you're more hyperactive. 99% more than hyperactive.
I am literally one of the most hyperactive people on the planet.
I like your positivity on that.
I like that. That means I am busy.
Yeah.
No wonder I get so much done.
Yeah. And compared with your Q score for inattention, 94% people were more attentive than you in their QB. So your 6% people were the same level of inattention as you.
So that's pretty bad. Intelligence.
Quite significant in terms
Yeah.
of its impact, and that's why that's important.
Yeah, that is. That I really feel the inattention.
And the
Yeah.
brain for the impulsivity, that's at 94%. Were less impulsive than you were as well during the test. So
Oh, I'm pretty impulsive.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, I need to watch that one. That's the expensive one.
It can be.
Yeah.
Also, it's the risk for me is so it
Oh, where you
impacts people
go.
in different ways. Financially, it doesn't seem to impact you so much.
No.
It impacts you in terms of breaking your bones. More.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah.
Although that's also thoughtlessness as well. It's not always like do or die. Like I shouldn't do that, but let's go anyway. It's more just I don't know, but
Absolutely.
I'm getting better at that one now.
Yeah.
I can't really.
You're around.
I can't hit the ground anymore. It's I don't recover.
No,
Oh,
that's it. It doesn't
no.
recover as well as you.
No, I don't. Literally. So no, that's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
So my whole mountain bike career and everything I've done, mountain bike career, everything has been, and all the injuries are. I knew it though. They are a part of how my brain's wired.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they are.
It's made you and why you've had
I
a
wasn't-
successful career.
I had a successful but heavily injured.
Painful career.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, mad. Yeah, interesting. It fits.
Yeah.
That all fits. Yeah, good. Thanks, Kimberly. Yeah.
Excellent. So if you want to move over, so we've looked at the symptom counter already. So that's what those 9 out of, you've got 9 out of 9 to inattention and 8 out of 9 for hyperactivity. Then we go to the diagnostic criteria. So you see at the bottom, keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. So you see at the bottom,
Oh, yeah.
diagnostic criteria. So if you turn over to the next page, this is what the diagnostic manual tells us, what we need to assess for ADHD. So you'll see you bet the criteria for criteria 1, which is inattention. So 6 or more in children or 5 or more of those symptoms in adults, which you have. Criteria 2 is hyperactivity and impulsivity. So 6 or more in children or 5 or more in adults. And then we go to criteria C, where that all needs to be present for the age of 12. Met that criteria. Criteria D is that it's got to have impact. And the diagnostic manual refers to impairment, but it's not particularly nice because I don't think you're impaired. I think you're impacted. So we need to make sure that is having an impact across more than 2 settings. So school and home, for example, you gave me lots of lovely evidence of that in childhood and work and now it's very traditional two settings. Albeit settings can be different. As an NHS, generally we focus the children, young people on children on school and home. But actually that's very rigid. And we know that for some of our young people, particularly if they're neurodivergent, school is really a tricky place. So they might not be in school.
Schools of work.
They might be home ed. They might be spirits emotional based school hallers. So we can't get accurate information from a school setting. So that's where we need to think about other settings that that young person is accessing on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So it might be a hobby. It might be gymnastics. It might be motocross. It could be anything. Can someone else who knows them there and see whether those symptoms of ADHD are present there as well?
Yeah, sport's always been, it's obviously all there,
Yeah.
but nothing but calming.
Yeah.
Like annoying sometimes when I can't keep my head together for a trial, but on a good day when I can do well. But so it could be an advantage and a disadvantage, but ultimately forget all that. It's more about doing sport because that was the one thing.
Yeah.
That was my one thing through life that kept, on the straight and narrow really. And
That's your autism, passion and interest.
yeah,
But
so
you
that dragged.
clear out.
Yeah, so a few things went against it, but ultimately that drove me to follow what I have, which I'm super happy
Yeah,
about.
absolutely.
Look at the life I've led.
Yeah.
Like where I've been.
Absolutely. And the hyperactivity and impulsivities on the characteristics or symptoms that we're looking at, some of that is about being driven by motor all the time. That is one of the criteria we look at. It's the criteria you've met. Actually, you're then able to drive your passion into something very successful. So the autism is the passion. The ADHD is coming in.
It was better in mountain bike racing though, because it was all without the autism as well, because of the difference, like a track having pedal. I didn't want to know. I'd be like, right, forget it.
Don't want to do that.
But on a good day, like you say, you can definitely perform
Yeah.
better than perhaps someone who is neurodivergent.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. Swings
and
around.
I think someone who might have autism and not ADHD, they might be better at sport.
Yeah.
Because they haven't got all the shit that kind of trips them up. They've just got that flow. I don't know.
Also, they might not have the focus that can come sometimes that you need around the detail around.
Does ADHD give focus?
It can do, so you get the hyper focus. So we look at inattention, we're looking at things like forgetfulness, we're looking at not being able to complete things.
Can I just ask you, how can I sit in a commentary box? Sometimes I did last weekend, 4 hours I commentated. I didn't miss a beat. Sometimes I have to think a little bit like, hang on, like get back, but not often. But like, how can I, for someone who is all over the place for 4 hours, I can talk and not put a word wrong?
Yeah, so we see that in the diagnostic manual, we're looking at deficit, we're looking at things that are really hard, but we know our ADHD community have loads of lovely strengths as well. One of the strengths is the polar opposite of hyperfocus. And we see hyperfocus is much more prevalent when we have autism and ADHD coming together. Commentary is one of your passions and interests. It's very evident. You talk really passionately about it. It's something you think about a lot all the time. It's
I have a hyperfocus.
So actually, then you hyperfocus. Your autism meets ADHD, and then it comes in. So this is how you are still having to pick up on that inattention, and you're knackered after, I'd imagine, doing it.
So people probably think I'm weird, right? After a commentary, if I have my way and I don't bump into anyone, I will pack up my stuff and I will walk out of that commentary box. And the next thing that I do is lay on a couch. I don't want to see anyone or speak. Sometimes I put headphones in. I just walk to the hotel room and I need an hour. And often I just lay on the bed. I mean, it don't even feel weird. I don't have music on. I just lay there and fall asleep.
And that is a lovely example of how you've used the strengths to get through something you really want to do.
You won't see me after a commentary and I feel bad. I don't go to the debrief. None of that. I know I've done a good job, to be quite honest. And I'm like, right, that's that. I'm done. And I am done.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
So your evidence is
nothing left.
criteria E really well, though, is that the impact that's having on occupation. You know, I'm assuming your boss isn't picking up, but you're not going to those debriefs.
I mean, they know I'm just done. They know I'm exhausted. I mean, even better than that is to jump in the van and drive. That's the ultimate, to get away, gone. So I didn't even have to see anyone who was to do with that event. I'm burnt out with it. I've done my job and I'm done.
So if you work for someone else, though, they might not be so understanding.
No, that happens as well.
That's the scaffolding we can see that will often come into play strategy-wise. So we have to tease that out.
They tried to get me hanging around for a team photo after one event, and they watched me get in the car. I said, yeah, I'll be there. And then they watched me get in the car and drive, and they rang me, and I was like, I ain't coming back. I'm like, and then later on that day, I actually emailed, and I was like, look, I got autism and shit, and I'm sorry, but like when I've done a commentary, I ain't got that energy, man. I ain't got no interest. I need to go.
Get me before, not after.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good.
And it's a very simple reasonable adjustment then, isn't it? That do it before, not after.
It's not hard. That's right.
It's just knowing about it.
I don't want to go and stand with 40 people. What are you on about?
But under the Equality Act, that would be seen as a reasonable adjustment. It's not costing them any more. It's just an organised. It's just they've got to be more organised in it. They can still get their photo. You're still in the photo, but then you still get to go and decompress at the end. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
So that would be a lovely example of a reasonable adjustment.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Then we'd move on to criteria F, which is again exclusion, that there's no other reason why we think those characteristics are present, and we don't think it's better explained. So you'll see there put yes, it's not better explained. So then that shows that you've met that diagnosis.
Yeah, there's nothing else. It's that.
And then the conclusion just explains everything we talked about today, and all the reasons why, how we've reached that conclusion, which we just talked about. And then you'll see there that we've commented on a bit of the grief cycle, really, because actually while people often come for a diagnosis to validate their experiences, and it's a very positive thing, actually we find most people will go through some sort of grieving process, because even if you knew that you were neurodivergent, even if you knew you're ADHD, when someone actually tells you, the impact that can be really profound, that someone's listened, someone's got it, someone understands it. So that can bring relief. It can then move into quite anger, like, why didn't no one pick this up sooner? Like, you should have done.
No worries. So what you're explaining, I think today I'm going to be all good.
Yeah.
But I absolutely went through this after. Like,
absolutely.
I'm going to swear, but fuck me, did I go through it after I got an autism assessment. Like, it ended me. Yeah. It ended me. That's what it was. It ended me, and I couldn't come out until I did that podcast and spoke about it.
So it's really important that we understand.
So that isn't rare.
No.
I felt like my whole life, like someone had pulled the rug out under my feet for the first, you know, is that right?
And most people are quite confused by it. So, but I knew I was already, or I went for the assessment. So it's not like, and I don't want to not.
I didn't have a clue. No, I thought I was Rain Man all of a sudden. I was like, you know, all the bad, and actually an ADHD assessment, actually for me, has a lot less taboo about it. Like, you do autism, you're like, oh, I'm Rain Man, like, I'm weird, I'm out there. And ADHD is seen, isn't it? As I mean, people think it's quite cool.
Yeah, well,
The media's like, yeah, I got ADHD.
Celebrity, yeah, lots of celebrity ads are saying I'm ADHD, and
Yeah, it's funky.
which is helpful in terms of raising awareness, but also is leading a bit of a misconception to some of it as well.
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah.
We need to balance it, but you will absolutely go through the sadness, like realization, particularly with ADHD, and also we're not looking to cure it. This is lifelong.
No, I'm all right
This is
with
part
that.
of who you
Yeah, I'm
are.
down. I'm down.
And the sadness is horrible because we're neuroaffirming, but the reality is that this isn't ever going to get easier.
Well, that's the thing with the autism. You can't change it, and that takes a bit of getting on board. That's like, you know,
We can make life easier, but I'm not going to make your brain work any easier.
impossible, right? That is rigid. There is no change in that. And I don't want to either. This is me.
exactly.
I'm not taking drugs here. This is what I'm going to be.
And this is where we then come to acceptance. That's a brief cycle that people will go. People go, grief. How can you say grief and you're a neuroaffirming organisation? Well, actually, we all go through, like, it's a big deal. It doesn't mean it's not a positive big deal. It just means it's a big deal.
That's right.
And we still need to go through those emotions.
It's an overwhelm.
Sure we come back
It's
and
absolutely overwhelming.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, as you've just explained through your autism assessment journey, no one's explained that to you. So then you feel really alone, and then you feel really confused, and then you're like, then often we find people then we're recluse. We're actually being like, oh,
Well,
okay, this is how it's.
I reclused for years, like I did, and I only feel better now after like I felt good enough to come and get an ADHD assessment, which was amazing. You coming out me, but like for now, and this has put me back on top.
Good.
As weird as it sounds.
No,
Well, I'm through it.
great.
I've done it. It's done.
Works really well.
Yeah. No, amazing.
And then we go to recommendations. So things that I think may help. So we've got medication here because it's a nice tells us medication is a first line treatment.
Yeah.
Again, not everyone wants medication. That's absolutely fine, but it's in there to know, and it explains a little bit about shared care. Because that's a medical lingo term, but it's phrased obviously a psychiatrist, which we've already talked about.
Yeah.
Say,
Yeah. No, it won't be something I go down that road.
they're there if you ever need it. I've recommended also an app called Brain in Hand for you. So
I love use.
it is great.
Is it?
It's an expensive app, mind, but it's something you could look at asking your employer potentially fund under the Access to Work grant. That it's a great app in terms of helping you organise, helping you to remember. Also has some mental health support coaching through the app as well. So it's got very good reviews, and our peer support team here really recommend it. I think it's a great app to use and can be really helpful in kind of just managing those things through. So that's something worth exploring. We've talked in here as well about some things to help with daily routines to just take some of the brain effort out. So things like having baskets or bins at the bottom of the stairs to kind of put things in. So it's all not necessarily put away, but it's just in one place. So we're trying to boundary things a little bit.
I do have boxes all around
Brilliant.
in the workshop and stuff,
Yeah,
actually.
works really well. So you know where things are.
Does that stop me losing things?
Yeah.
Because there's one thing's losing something, but not being able to find it, I won't give up. So I could actually lose a set of keys, and it might be 6 hours before I move on to the next thing. I will not stop, and I sweat and be frantic. It's horrendous.
I feel that visual checklists may be helpful for you as well. So whether that's a post-it notes, whether
Yeah.
it's on your phone,
Well, yeah.
having some visual and a visual board, task and finish board. There's something very satisfying about ticking things off or crossing.
Well, I
through
delete
it.
them out my phone when they're done off the
Deleting
list.
it.
Yeah, I do. That's what I do.
Really important. So
That's exactly how I do it.
absolutely. So those things. So keep doing that.
Yeah, because I know that if I've got all those things I'm trying to remember in my head,
It's not.
oh my God. Well,
Yeah.
it's also just, it's already cluttered and messed up, but it's already a mess.
Yeah.
It just adds to this
lot
crap
up
in
and
it.
then
Yeah.
There's some other recommendations around some reading in there if you want to. So some social media channels for you to follow, which might be useful.
Yeah, I'll get the app for sure.
And we also felt that potentially some ADHD coaching to really kind of think about those aspirations and stuff. Maybe not right now, but in the future might be something you would
What's that?
take.
Someone chat to you about ADHD?
So it could be a peer support practitioner or qualified ADHD coach that will talk you through ADHD, but will do it in a very practical way and coach and support you in kind of goal setting, thinking, okay, what next? Particularly as your career starts to change and evolve as it moves on forward, that can be a really
Well, these
helpful
difficult
support.
periods,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
beyond difficult,
Yeah,
when I don't know what's next.
absolutely.
I don't like it.
So that might be a really helpful
Yeah, it
link
kills
to
me. Actually,
engagement in the time.
is that ADHD or is that autism?
That's probably both.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's difficult.
Yeah,
Really
hard, isn't it?
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's horrible.
Yeah. We've referred obviously to look at the ADHD Foundation website, fantastic charity.
I will get into it now and I've got it.
Absolutely.
Before you've got it, you can't.
Right.
But now I'm like, boom, now I can get right into it.
So they've got some great information and some great advice for employers on there as well.
Have they?
If your employer's not sure, that's a good place to go.
All right. Yeah.
Um,
That's quite a lot.
We've highlighted that you are at risk of neurodivergent burnout.
What's that mean?
So burnout is when you have basically overstretched yourself so much, and that it can present a bit like anxiety and depression.
Oh, it's not a long-term thing where I'm going to pack up when I'm 70 years old.
No, just burnout basically. So we talk a lot about pacing and
A day
prioritization.
thing almost.
It can be to prevent and stuff, but some people experience burnout for a day. Some people experience burnout for months.
Is that what I had last night when I came in the door from the Isle of Man TT?
Like, no, it's that shutdown. Like
That's about as bad as it gets. I
Yeah.
just can't function.
But if you keep over, that it's the.
But I couldn't, because at that moment in time, I'm sort of just done.
And particularly when you have a real perfectionist approach, like I want things to be perfect, that increases the risk a little bit more of burnout.
I probably suffer that a touch with some. I do with work, but not with. Yeah, I do with commentary. I get a word wrong
Yeah.
and not another word wrong in a 4-hour commentary. I will be so upset, and the commentary will be shit in my opinion. Even though, I mean, they must laugh at me. I'm like, that was shit. I made cut them. They're like, what? I mispronounced the word. Yeah. That's the thing.
And we also picked up facial blindness. So
I have got that.
Yes, prognosia.
Holy
prognosia.
shit!
So we picked that up. So that's something.
What you can tell me that I've got.
You have it's in your report. So that is something that is something you're working really hard with, and will be making those interactions.
I knew it. That's
incredibly
insane.
difficult. So
Is that autism or ADHD?
it's very common within both. It's separate, but it's
very
something
common.
that we can see.
It's
within-
embarrassing.
in
That's why you don't like that one.
Yeah, it's not. It can feel embarrassing.
It does. Oh, hello. I didn't know you were there.
All right, who are you?
Oh my God. And there's nothing I can do about that either. That is literally like looking at people in this room and my brain just doesn't register that person. Like it doesn't tick the box. Oh,
No.
John's here. It's like, that's how it is.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I've got facial blindness.
There is a link in here for some strategies to help with that, which can help you to develop different things that will help manage that along the way as well.
Cool. Blimey. Yeah, even when I ain't seen someone for a year or two. Yeah, it's differences in an appearance.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then in the appendices, if you go to the next page, appendice, this is where we've got all your lovely screening questionnaires and batteries you did with us. So you've got the SDQ in front of you, so the Strengths and Difficulty Questionnaire. So this tells me an awful lot about you, which is fabulous. And your profile on here is very common within an autistic ADHDer. So, for example, the emotional problems, so emotions are quite intense. They're quite like, where's that come from?
I can't control them, right?
Yeah.
Which is autism.
Whereas, so it can be within autism and ADHD. We see that amplified. So the intensity is often the ADHD. They're not
The
really
way
getting
feelings
it
can
is
be
probably-
too much for me, and I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
Not now, but
And-
when I did all these things, I was crying all the time because it was so much for me. But I couldn't stop that. I didn't want to be crying on a podcast, but it was like. But now I'm good.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's right.
We can see your pro-social skills are rated in the very low range. So this is the give and take, the back and forth in a conversation. It might be sharing, it might be that comfort stuff, which can we see really common. I'm going to share autistic ADHD. Yeah. However, your overall conduct was close to average. So that helps me rule out things like ODD or conduct type disorders that might
Conduct
conduct disorders.
You mean being not very nice in society?
Absolutely.
No, I'm all right there, aren't I?
Yeah, absolutely fine.
I understand to be all right in
concerns
society.
there.
No,
Yeah,
good.
No concerns there. And you'll see your hyperactivity score was very high. And it also shows me you have a preference.
Is that a 10 out of 10?
Yes.
Get it. I'm as hyperactive as that cub. No way, that's min. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And externalise very high. So you're more likely to externalise your difficulties and strengths than you are to internalise it.
You mean I just tell people I don't feel good? Oh, I got all those anxiety things everyone hears. Oh, I've got a cold before every broadcast.
Exactly that.
Yeah, I haven't. It's just an anxiety thing.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And that's ADHD?
Yeah.
Because I'm so hyperactive, I can't hide it. It's just blah.
Yeah, it's just a preference you have.
Cool, isn't it, really?
So then you'll see then the mental health screen. So the depression, the PHQ was 9. So this was minimum ranges. There's low level mood, which will probably come in and out, but it's not anything to be concerned about.
I'm not depressed.
You're not depressed.
No, not even slightly, right?
Very typical mood fluctuation that we would expect in anyone.
Even the neurotypical person,
Yeah.
the same. Oh, is that I'm well within those?
Low level.
Yeah, move it out
minimal
there.
range.
Yeah,
I
if
think
things
what-
piss me off, but I'm back 5 minutes later.
I'd be concerned if someone said to me, neurotypical, neurodivergent, they're happy all the time. Like, that's
True, is
not,
it?
Is it?
No, that's right.
So that helps with that. So, and then also your GAD-7, which is the anxiety one as well. That was rated in the severe range, but I think that's because you're working really hard. I don't think you have an underlying anxiety disorder. Looking at the ones that you marked on there, that was
Part of my autism.
around it was autism and ADHD together, where you're just chasing.
But I am
chasing,
highly
chasing.
anxious.
Yeah,
I am.
yeah. But
So I don't like
think
getting on
that's
aeroplanes.
for
The airports
your
are gnarly.
Yeah, I don't think that's an anxiety disorder.
No, it's part of because autism. I see autism as anxiety.
Yeah, well,
Almost is.
Well, it's a bit of a strange face, isn't it, right?
Yeah, ultimately for me, the bad bit about autism is the anxiety. Everything's like, oh
Absolutely.
shit, really? I got to go there. You know, it's like that here.
So there we go. And then we got the ADHD screens, as you will see there, that we looked at. So your mum wasn't able to complete the render UTAR, so you completed it in kind of pulling out some of that family, the younger stuff, which is great. So it means we haven't scored it, but we've used the information.
Yeah.
Because it's still helpful.
Yeah, gotcha, yeah.
And then you completed the same ASRS, which is the adult screening tool for ADHD, and is been developed in conjunction with WHO, so the World Health Organization. So it's a good screening tool.
Cool, yeah, bosh.
It's very fancy. And then part A, you got 7. You scored 7. Oh, well, that says 7. No, out of 6. So maybe out of 9. I'll typo on that.
My maths is right.
Yeah, I was like, hang on,
Even I know.
hang on, that's wrong. 7 out of 9. So we're looking for anything that any scores between 4 and 6 then would be indicative of ADHD.
So I've got it.
Yeah. And then 12 out of 12 for part B. So there is not a lower threshold for this one, but actually you got full house. But the more you get, the more stress it is.
I'm peaking.
Yeah.
No,
Got full house on the ASRX. So yeah.
So yeah,
That's your assessment journey with this one. Do you have any other questions for me?
I think you got most of them during it.
Yeah.
I'm a full ADHD person.
Congratulations on your diagnosis.
Well, thank you very much for the. I'm
Been an
quite.
absolute pleasure.
Oh well, thanks very much. No, I'm not even going to get upset here. This is all good because I'm happy that I've come through it. I've got ADHD. I knew I had. It affects me probably a bit more than I knew now already.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately this is me, and I'm just going to carry on.
Yeah.
There's strengths and weaknesses with it. The strengths have given me this life that I lead, and the weaknesses you have to deal with them. But it's all right. So that's,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mo, thanks very much.
My absolute pleasure.
Mad, yeah, brilliant. And as you say, it is a lot to take on.
It is.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Yeah, and we understand that. That's really important here for us at Autism Oxford. So, if you have any questions after you go home, process it, read it. Or if your wife has any questions, do get back in touch with us. We're happy to have a follow-up meeting or call if needs be. That really isn't a problem. Our peer support team are also always on hand to have any conversations around that as well, and kind of the lived experience I don't think can be underestimated in any shape or form. I can come from a clinical perspective, which is great.
Yeah.
I've done my clinical expert, but the next bit often I think is much better led by peer support team rather than a nurse.
Would I benefit? Because I'm not going to go down the route of taking medication for it. No way. But would I benefit from learning? Is that what you mean? Would I learn more about it and have more sort of coping strategies or whatever?
absolutely.
But would it, in the real world, is it going to make much difference to you, or would you just crack on?
I think crack on the brain in hand app, I think at the moment.
Yeah, that's
will
it.
help. And then those pinch points, what we talked about, where things will be tough, that's when you want to integrate things like the coaching or the peer support practitioner. If you see them coming ahead of time, so be a bit more proactive rather than reactive, will be more useful.
I am what I am. I've got this far.
Yeah.
I've got to accept sometimes I can't function as well as I'd like, and just keep going. I think. Yeah.
I think you're functioning pretty well, all considering.
My expectations in a day would be a lot more than most people's, and when I don't get through them, like people are like, "Look at what you were trying to do." Yeah, I have too many things going, but I'm starting to. The more I understand about it, the easier it gets, and that was certainly the case with autism, and I think that's how it's going to be with this now. Oh, thanks, Kimberly. Yeah, it's been amazing.
It's been my pleasure.
Yeah, really, thank you. Right, so that was it. That was my ADHD diagnosis. No surprises to me that I had it. I'm a little bit surprised. I'm pretty pumped that I'm in the top 1% of people on Earth with hyperactivity. I like that. Explains a lot. It's a bit like the autism assessment as well, right? You're not going to change anything about yourself. These are hardwired things. But now you know about it, or I know about it, at least perhaps I will recognise aspects of it and can probably help myself. I don't know. But it's not got the taboo of autism. It's not going to upset me. Like, it's not going to take me years to come to terms with. It's all good. So I need to say a massive thank you to Autism Oxford, who allowed us to come in and film this ADHD test start to finish, right? Hopefully it's going to help people to see there's nothing to be scared of. That's what it looks like. That's what it is. Won't change anything afterwards when you find out you've got it. Massive thank you to Kimberly, who did the test for me and put up with me for the last couple of days I've been here doing all this. Also, I need to thank Larissa. So when I asked on the Ride Companion podcast if anyone out there would allow me to do an ADHD test, it was Larissa that reached out. She works here. We met her in the first show. And Larissa, actually, her main reason to reach out is because she has an interest on autism, on ADHD in sport. So for the last part of this series, let's chat to her and find out what we can.